Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. I want you to watch a little video before we begin. This is a video of our president as he makes his journey to Texas. Let it roll.
Our country and to our country, and I believe it's going to be a catastrophic mistake for them. They're dividing and divisive, and they're showing something that I've been predicting for a long time. I've been predicting it for a long time, and people didn't act on it. But I think big tech has made a terrible mistake and very, very bad for our country, and that's leading others to do the same thing. And it causes a lot of problems and a lot of danger. Big mistake. They shouldn't be doing it, but there's always a counter move when they do that. I've never seen such anger as I see right now, and that's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. And you have to always avoid violence. And we have tremendous support. We have support probably like nobody's ever seen before. Always have to avoid violence.
What is your role in what happened at the Capitol? What is your personal responsibility?
So if you read my speech, and many people have done it, and I've seen it both in the papers and in the media, on television, it's been analyzed, and people thought that what I said was totally appropriate. And if you look at what other people have said, politicians at a high level, about the riots during the summer, the horrible riots in Portland and Seattle and various other places, that was a real problem, what they said. But they've analyzed my speech and my words and my final paragraph, my final sentence, and everybody to the T thought it was totally appropriate. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Now, as we saw in the video, President Trump made several illusions because he wanted to make it very clear that he didn't want any violence. He made sure he presented it several times before he got to his plane headed here toward Texas. Despite widespread backlash, Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook, the operations officer, defended the company's decision to suspend the president's account. Facebook, I thank you for allowing our program here on Facebook to continue and to appear on the pages that I have set up for our channel, but not for demonetizing us, as you have done so much with so many conservative voices who have expressed their views or their point of view for the conservative Americans in this country. If I may, I would like to help you just a little bit. You are coming up against one of the most powerful American citizens in history of all times. Need I remind you that he is a winner and he is relentless. Once the dust settles from all of this negative media and for what social media is doing right now, this gentleman, I assure you, has his attack plan laid out. I'm not talking about violence either, but I'm saying that he has a plan as well as you have a plan to disrupt during this season conservative media. We should not be blocked for any period of time. And why we should not be blocked at all, because we're in a country that allows free speech. Our speech is not offensive to many people. It doesn't hurt anybody to express our views on what's going on in our government. But we see a lot of times that our media has been shut down because of that very fact that we're expressing our conservative viewpoints. Need I say, we say conservative, but really it's the free speech that we're allowed under our constitutional First Amendment. I'm just saying, look out. There are going to be a lot of social media sites placed in the archives to be seen no more. Mr. Trump has been around a long time before a lot of you were even created. He has survived a lot of the industries and things he has survived. He's proven, even though he's been defeated before in his life, he continues to rise up and win. A lot of his enemies have not continued. If I was going to deal with an enemy that I had to fight with, I think I would not be messing with someone as formidable as President Donald J. Trump. I believe our so-called lame duck president is going to make history after the inauguration. He is going to seal his place in history as a president who took down the Washington swamp. The lady has not sung yet, people. She hasn't sung, but she is practicing. Let me say that again. The lady has not yet sung, but she is practicing. Watch and see. Remember the old saying, this saying I grew up with. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. The only way you can accomplish anything in this life, people, we all fail. It's proven. President Lincoln, Republican president, by the way, he continued, even though he kept losing. I think he lost like 12 times, and then he became the president of the United States. But Lincoln, as many others in this history of America, gained too much power, and he became a threat to the left of his time. Therefore, they sought, and they did assassinate him. Those of you who brought everything you have brought on our president, clean out your garbage, clear up all your corruptible things or your corruption things, because he's coming to your house with a search warrant. Remember, President Trump, and it's said about every president, what is the president? The president is the chief lawmaker in the country. He's the chief. He's the head of all the lawmaking agencies. He's the head of all the police, federal, whatever there is out here. He's the head of it all. Don't think that he's not preparing to come after you. Those of you who know that you have corruption in your background. You have corruption in some of the things that you've done over the last 4 years with this Russian collusion and all these other things that have gone on. Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with you here on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. The FBI has said that armed protesters are planning to attack or protest. Obviously, they're not protesters. They're attackers or rioters if they're armed, and they're planning to attack 50 state capitals. Now, I will tell you what the assumption is going to be and what my advice to you is. Now, the assumption is going to be they're going to put it all on Donald Trump if he is removed from office prior to the 20th of this month, which is pure foolishness. Mitch McConnell's already told them in the House and the Senate it would take up until the 19th to even bring this case before the Congress and the Senate because of all the preparation it would take. Never mind why the case is being brought up. And this foolishness about Donald Trump being involved with the Capitol attack, well, people, that was a setup. Antifa, BLM, all they knew they were going to riot. They knew they were going to do these things around the country. You think that they're going to stop? No, they don't like the Democrats and they don't like the Republicans as well. They don't like American government. They want a socialist government. They want a communist government. I say to them, get on a freaking plane and go to a communist country. If you want that kind of government, go the heck on. Go to China, go to Russia, go somewhere else where they are running their country that way already. You may be happier. I hope so. I hope you take my advice and get out of America, because this is a free country. Does anybody see what is happening here with this FBI talking about the plans, and they are attempting to lock down all the states again? What do you think this is about? Oh, there's a threat, so we want a curfew in. We want everybody to just stay in their house. This is just another ploy from the left to take control of America and its people. They are saying from the 16th to the 20th. What did they say in March? 14 days to slow the spread. And they're still locking down states. I don't know about you, but I heard the Democrats and what they were saying when the coronavirus lockdowns began. How many of y'all heard them? I know I did. They wanted a year and a half, people. They wanted us shut down for a year and a half. Thank God we have some Republican governors and cities that are Republican run. So we weren't all shut down, else we would all be in total ruin. So they could destroy our country and force what they call, and a lot of these billionaires and people who want to take away your freedoms, call the Great Reset. The Great Reset. How many of y'all heard that? I know I've heard it. Okay, moving on. The Bureau, by the way, who are under investigation by the Justice Department, mind you, also some online posts have vowed to use violence if President Trump is removed from office before inauguration through impeachment or the 25th Amendment. So let me ask you a question. Where are they hearing all this stuff from? Where's all this garbage coming from? President Trump has said very clearly, although the mainstream media, social media, has blocked the post where President Trump tells you that he plans on a peaceful transition. President Trump is not worrying about losing the White House, as some may say. President Trump's thing that he wanted to do was to clean the swamp. He already said the 20th will be peaceful. But I urge Trump supporters to stay in for now. They're trying to bait you. You hear me? Listen to me. They're trying to bait you. I would say stay in. No protest until after, say, if you want to protest after President-elect Biden has been inaugurated. Because President Trump told you at the rally that he's going to transition if the election college votes say so, if it does not get the help he needs in the Congress and the Senate. So the transition has happened. But he also told you during that rally there in Washington, where some accuse you of being the violence that opened up or broke into the Capitol, which I'm saying pretty much that's a big freaking lie. BLM and Antifa are the ones. They said that several were arrested. And I'm going to tell you something else. There's a lot going on, people, that you don't know about. But President Trump, let me tell you what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the inauguration to be over. He's waiting for President-elect Biden to be made president. Watch what happens. President Biden, need I say, will probably go down in history for what is about to happen after the inauguration. After he's been set there and put into office as president. There's a lot of dirt out there, people. And he can't clean himself. There's people around him that are so dirty that you're going to hear the words treason, all kinds of unlawful words that you have heard in recent days put on President Trump. The only reason the Democrats are seeking this avenue of impeachment is because they lost before. They cannot lose if they pass impeachment of the 25th Amendment because no one can argue against them, that they push it through before the 20th. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you here in a moment on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the Voice of Truth. Stick around. I have some more info for you. Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Let me tell you a little secret. They also don't want President Donald J. Trump to return to office in 2024 because he's only one term, so that means he can come back. He's already got 73 million people on his side, or 75, probably 80, more than that. He probably got 100 million votes. Of course, you won't hear that. But he holds the historic landmark that they're trying to pin to Joe Biden. Good luck with that. He's going to return, but not the way you think. He's not going to return the way you think, people. I'm going to give you a little prophecy. President Trump, if God allows him to continue to live up until 2024, he is coming back in good health, hopefully, and ready to go. I'm saying he may come back as a vice presidential candidate. He may come back as a presidential candidate. But I venture to say he's going to come back and he's going to be backing somebody else. I'm not going to tell you who I perceive he's going to be backing. But I'll tell some friends of mine so they know what I'm talking about. So when it comes to pass, even if I'm not around, they will see what I was talking about is true. Pray that I'll be around too as well. Okay, another piece of news here. Parler is firing back at Amazon after the company blocked their social media app from web services. Now, this kind of stuff has got to stop. So on lawsuits on Monday, they filed a lawsuit on this past Monday. A lot of these social media giants are making vague claims against conservative speech or free speech as it is. They're making vague claims. You ask them, why am I being stopped? We've been shut down several times and they can't give us no explanation. Or community violence. Community, what are you talking about? The main community that we serve that are watching us love our content. You may have a few that come on and make these filthy mouth comments, which a lot of the left, that's the way they are. They got to come on your page, they got to curse, and they got to make all kinds of vile statements. You know, nasty words. I had some, and I guess I was awarded some recently. I was so proud that somebody finally called me a disgusting individual. A disgusting individual. Sound like a Democrat to me. They want to call us radicals, and they're the radicals. They want to call us disgusting when they're the ones that are disgusting. They're violating contractual law in every way they can possibly find. Let me ask you one question. As American people, let me ask you this. What happens when the government of a country ignores their own laws and their own rules? What happens? Let me go back with you. Go back with me a little bit back in the 60s. You remember a program in the 60s called Get Smart? Remember Get Smart? I love that show. Maxwell Smart. He could forget, do all kinds of crazy stuff, step off a cliff, fall into another cliff, and keep walking. But it sounds like in that 1960s show, Get Smart, they had an organization. What was the organization called now? What is it called? Control. And the other organization was called Chaos. Control and Chaos. What do we see now? Control was mainly Americans or American citizens. And guess who Chaos was? Chaos was the Russians. Siegfried, Mr. Siegfried, displayed as a Russian. Chaos. Now you see why they're constantly calling Russia collusion. They're trying to get you off the main focus, the real one that's infiltrating our government and causing all this corruption. And you know how their name is spelled? I'm not even going to say their name. I'll spell it for you. Can't spell? Sorry. CHINACOMMUNISTPARTY. That's who the Democrats are in collusion with. Talking about President Trump. They're in collusion with those people. For years, they try to point you to Russia. Oh, look at Russia. They're causing problems. They're doing this and doing that. Russia was a superpower then. Russia is no longer the superpower it was. So they continue to point at them to get your eyes off the real person or the real country that's causing our major problem. I pointed this out a few months ago, and I want you to do this. If you have masks in your pockets or wherever, if you didn't make your own mask, I want you to take out that mask that you have and look on it. Take out your mask and see who made it. If you see who made it and the name is CHINA, please make a mention in the comments. Please make a mention in the comments because I noticed this. This is unbelievable. Here we are with the China virus, where it started from Wuhan, China, and they're making all the money off of it. Oh, wear a mask, wear a mask. Your mask run out. Oh, they're selling masks all over the place. Different kind of design masks and everything else. Look on the tag. Made in China. I like to bust out laughing when I went in the store and sold all those tags, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of merchandise slipped into this country to be sold and the money going to CCP. What did I tell you? They slip stuff under your eyes without you even noticing. Smart was dumb, but right. They portrayed him as that. He was dumb, but he was always on the right. One of the most popular programs at the time. Siegfried always thought he was going to win. And Smart was dumb. But Smart always won. Just like Smart always won, people, you're going to win too. We are the American people. We are a unique people, and trying to make like we're not unique, they're going to end up in trouble. This country is not going to stand for communism or socialism. I guarantee you. There's uproars and things going on all around the nation. But as I said earlier, I urge Trump supporters and those of us on the right, the conservatives, hold your peace. President Trump told you to speak. Hold your peace. Hold your peace. Because the time is coming. We can protest peacefully. But the time is coming. They're going to ignore us. Because right now they want to get Biden in so they can start doing this stuff. And what I told you before, Biden's been protected for a long time. So pretty soon Biden is going to be attacked by his own people and by the fake news media. Believe you me, Nancy wants to be vice president. She wants Joe Biden out of there. I'm going to stop short of the way that I say that she's going to get him out of office. The 25th Amendment is being thrown around. Not for Donald J. Trump. They know that this stuff is impossible. They're just trying to get your mindset in there. They want you to pick up and read the 25th Amendment. Because when they declare President Joe Biden incompetent, you'll know where they're coming from. But the Democrats are not going to escape, guys. They're going to face their day in court. They may think they're not. They may think because they got to control the House and the Senate. But there's such a thing as independent counsel. And people on the outside that can come in. It's allowed in our government. Even if they stop us, there's still a legal system that works in this nation. In every state of the union. We pray that they do not get their great reset that they're looking for. You people out there, those of you who support the Democrat Party, they hate your guts. You think they love you? They hate you. They're interested in the wealthy, the money. What my dad used to always say, look at the people that they're always accusing of doing things. If they're not doing it, they're doing it themselves. In other words, the person you're pointing your finger at, you're telling they're racist. Guess what? Who noticed? Who's the racist? My dad used to always say, one thumb's pointing up to God, the other one's pointing at the other person, and three are pointing back at you. So the Democrats are always, and I told you, they're systemic racists. They said it. It's been going on in America for years. Started with Jim Crow, started with their fight against civil rights. It started also with the the assassination of President Lincoln. They always tout Lincoln. Oh, we love Lincoln, all this stuff. Who killed Lincoln? It was people from the other party. People who hired somebody from the other party. Boy, there's so many conspiracies in this country. This country got so much dirt in it. And it's any country. I'm not saying America's the only one. There's a lot of countries that have a lot of hidden dirt, a lot of skeletons in the closet. But America has a share. And as I told you Democrats earlier, get to your closet. Some of you have lost some of your closet stuff. Some of you have lost those little private documents that you thought you could hide. They found them out. That's why a lot of you want President Trump out of the office, because you know he already knows. Well, I want to thank you for joining us here at the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network. People, we got a battle ahead of us. Not all of it's going to be physical. Some may be. But I believe that a lot of it's going to be spiritual. We need to get on our knees and pray. God is the one that's in control, as I said before. But I want his blessing to be upon you. So I want to say to you, as I always like to say, God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Until next time, this is David Colbert from the Black Conservative Voice saying good night and God bless.